Some people say often life is hard. And I think, well, compared to what? Coming up next on Pastor Bob Daily. Well, sometimes life is hard. And there are those days that are very difficult, and I have them too. And at the end of the day, we say, wow, life is hard. And then the next day I go and feed the homeless and I realize my life is not hard. That's hard. You know, there's always somebody that's worse off, and we only see the people that are better off. We seldom see the people that are worse off. And yeah, life does get a little difficult sometimes. Life is hard sometimes. But compared to what? You know, it's interesting that when life is difficult, we say life is hard. When you're having a good day, you say life is great. And your conclusion usually has to do with the kind of day that you've had. It's like depression. When you get depressed, all you can remember is being depressed. I'm always depressed. I always feel low. My life is horrible. And then the depression lifts and, life is great again. And you don't identify with it. We usually identify with what we're feeling right now. And we kind of think that our whole life is this way. It really helps us a lot to remember and to put things in perspective. Life is hard compared to what? Compared to what it could be, compared to what it used to be, compared to what it's going to be. In what context? And folks, let me say this too. Life is what you make of it as well. Yeah, sometimes life does get hard. Sometimes we're mistreated by people. Sometimes life sucks. We've had that discussion before. But it doesn't mean that it needs to continue that way. It doesn't mean that it can't get better. And it doesn't mean that some way and at some point it's going to take off again. There are seasons of life being tough and life being great. What season are you in right now? If you're in a life is tough season, would you remember to put it in perspective and begin the process of making life great again? God bless you. Have a great day.